What's up? What's going on? What's good? The Boxing Source checking in here. We're talking about Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte for the WBC and Lineal Heavyweight Championships. Of course, in the previous week, we did see that Queensberry Promotions did win the purse bid with their bid of $41 million plus. It's like $41 million and then $25,000, right? As of a couple of days ago, the WBC did put out the notice that they did receive a 10% deposit for that purse bid. So it looks like we're about another step closer for that fight happening, and it's going to be like a record payday for both Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte. And there was like some buzz around that potentially Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte maybe having second thoughts about having this particular fight. I'm not necessarily sure where that comes from. I mean, you got somebody that is due to making a, record payday as far as like his career. We do know that he did decline fight against Anthony Joshua for the unified heavyweight titles back in 2019. That would have been in like Wembley Stadium, which is why, you had Anthony Joshua ending up scheduled to fight Jarrell Miller in MSC and ended up fighting Andy Ruiz at Madison Square Garden. But now Dillian Whyte, of course, had been this top contender or whatever it is for 11 days or whatnot, now would have his shot at the WBC Heavyweight Championship. And so now it just looks like those fighters are pretty much going to be set up to be in camp. As far as like the actual date, it may be around April 23rd, as far as like that particular date for that fight. As far as like where it will be, not necessarily sure. Could be in the UK, could be in Saudi Arabia, who knows? But we will pretty much find that out in the next few days or so. So we're pretty much looking out for that. And this is going to be a, pretty good fight. Tyson Fury is, of course, undefeated. Had his fights against Deontay Wilder. I pretty much feel like Tyson Fury is a lot more comfortable fighting guys that are closer to his height than shorter guys where he would have to punch down and things like that. Well, Dillian Whyte is someone that, kind of like comes forward pretty slowly, but can catch you if you're slipping. The only thing with Dillian Whyte is that over the past couple of fights, at least you've seen against Alexander Povetkin, that he's very prone to be hit and prone to be caught. As we saw in the first fight where Alexander Povetkin took him out with that uppercut that was like knockout of the year for 2020. At least to me, it was pretty much knockout of the year. But then in the rematch over in Gibraltar, Dillian Whyte was able to stop Alexander Povetkin, but even then, Dillian Whyte was, prone to be hit a lot in that particular bout. And, it's not like he's, been on that particular streak where he was fighting a lot of guys that were around the top 20 or so in the heavyweight division. After he had his fight against Oscar Rivas, he was, part of that Joshua Ruiz 2 bout or fight card. And he was, way down the line in that particular fight card, trying to get himself back into it, even after his win over Oscar Rivas. So, of course, he had that little fiasco about that positive test before the Rivas fight. So you had, his bout that was there in December of 2019, then going into 2020 when he got knocked out by Alexander Povetkin, and then earlier in 2021 where he got a rematch win over Povetkin, but didn't really look all too good to me, in that particular instance. Well, on the flip side, yeah, Tyson Fury who had his first fight against Deontay Wilder in 2018, then had 2 bouts before the second bout against Deontay Wilder in 2020, and then, of course, last year, stopping Deontay Wilder in the 3rd bout. So he's pretty much like coming off a little bit of a high with those 2 stoppage victories over Deontay Wilder. He did have that struggle against Otto Wallin before the second fight against Deontay Wilder. But even outside of that, he's had, really, really good performances, so to speak, against Deontay Wilder in the past couple of fights. Did, slip up a couple of times in the 3rd bout against Deontay Wilder, but outside of that, he's still like stuck to his game plan of mauling and coming forward and, pretty much like a big old bear, but we're going to see, how this is going to situate itself here over the next few weeks. Like I said, pretty much see the bout taking place around April 23rd. And it could be like over in the UK or Saudi Arabia or whoever, pays wherever the site fee is going to be or whatnot. But that's what we pretty much have here on the Boxing Source. You can check out more content on the YouTube channel. You can subscribe. We really appreciate it. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.